What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm doing race picks for the 2023 A-Game 200. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This weekend, the NASCAR Xfinity Series headed Dover National Speedway, the 1-mile concrete track, for the final race of the Dashboard Cash as well. The last time we raced here at Dover National Speedway, we saw Josh Berry hold off a hard charge, I believe Justin Allgaier, to pick up another victory in the 2022 season. He'll be looking to pick up his first victory of the 2023 season this weekend at Dover International Speedway. So now, let's jump into picks. Before we go ahead and jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So the weather for this weekend at Dover is not looking very promising for even the Xfinity or the Cup Series. It's going to be 65 degrees at high and 58 degrees at low, with right now a 70% chance of showers. Keep in mind, it's early in the morning when this video is going out, but I still expect that the weather could potentially be a big factor as the week goes on, and there's a good chance the rain could get rained out all the way to Sunday or potentially Monday as well. The weather could be a big concern for this weekend. So now with that, let's jump into picks. For those who are new to the channel, here's how picks work on the channel for the Xfinity Series. I do 2 suck picks, 2 drivers I expect to struggle or under front equipment or expect to have bad runs. 2 underdog picks, 2 drivers under front equipment I expect to have really strong runs, who have been really having good runs in great equipment or under front equipment. And I do the winner's pick, the driver I think is going to win the race. And then I do the drivers you need to watch out for this weekend. And unlike the Cup Series, I do 4 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So now, let's jump into picks. Who are my suck picks for this weekend at Dover National Speedway for the Xfinity Series? My first suck pick is a driver who I think is actually a pretty decent driver overall. Unfortunately, though, he's running for a team that doesn't really have the best equipment, and this number has kind of struggled in qualifying so far this year. My first suck pick is Stephen Parsons. Like I said, I think Stephen Parsons is a really talented driver who's got a lot of potential to do great things if he gets in a great car. Unfortunately, SS Greenlight Racing this season, they've not really been up to par, have not had to speed like they had last year at times, and I sadly think this weekend at Dover, they're going to have a really hard time having a good run this weekend, especially with how tough the field is and how in-depth the field is this weekend. I sadly expect that Stephen Parsons is going to have a bad run, unfortunately, this weekend at Dover. My second suck pick for this weekend is a driver who's only made a few NASCAR Xfinity Series starts, and generally in those Xfinity Series starts, this guy has not done really good. And it's a shame because his brother is a driver who's won multiple NASCAR Cup Series races. My second suck pick is Chad Chastain. Chad Chastain has not really had a lot of great races so far in the NASCAR Xfinity Series so far, and DGM Racing is either good or they seem to struggle at times. I don't think Chad Chastain is going to have a good run this weekend. Unfortunately, I think DGM Racing themselves as an organization is going to have a bad run this weekend. I think Chad Chastain will make it into the race, but I think he'll fail to finish inside the top 25 this weekend at Dover International Speedway. And now we'll go ahead and jump on to the underdog picks for this weekend at Dover. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick is a driver who has had some decent runs in the past in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, who I think is one of the most underrated drivers currently in NASCAR at the moment today. And this guy I wish was full-time. My first underdog pick is Kyle Weatherman. Kyle Weatherman will be driving a 0-2 car for Our Motorsports, and every time he's been at Our Motorsports, he always seems to get the best out of equipment. And I think this weekend will be no exception. I think Kyle Weatherman is going to finish potentially in the top 10 or even the top 15 this weekend. This guy absolutely deserves to be full-time, and I think this weekend that 0-2 car is going to be a big threat and a pretty big contender to get potentially even steal a victory this weekend. I think Kyle Weatherman will have a fantastic run this weekend at Dover Raceway. My second underdog pick for this weekend is a driver who's coming off of finishing in the top 5 at Talladega Superspeedway. And I did expect this guy to do a little bit better, but I also don't think this team is the best team overall. My second underdog pick is Parker Kligerman. Parker Kligerman always gets the best out of equipment, and he's generally run really good in the Xfinity Series throughout his career. I'm not expecting Parker to be a winning contender this weekend, but I do believe that Big Machine Racing is going to give Parker Kligerman a pretty good car, and I think he'll contend for potentially even a top 5 this weekend with the RCR engines and the ECR engines as well. I think Parker has a pretty solid run. I think he gets the top 10 this weekend, and will continue a pretty good run that he's been on over the last couple weeks this weekend at Dover. And now we'll go ahead and jump on to the winner's pick for this weekend at Dover. Who is my winner's pick? My winner's pick for the Xfinity Series race at Dover is the driver who won this race last year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and that, I believe, is Josh Berry. Josh Berry has been historically really good on the shorter types of tracks, and I think Josh Berry, well, he's been kind of a little bit struggling at times throughout the season so far. I think Josh Berry is really starting to kind of come into his own. Has been generally probably up there as probably the best junior motorsports driver so far in the 2023 season. I think he's going to be a really big contender. I think he's going to be a really big threat, and I think he will get his first victory since Las Vegas last year in the 18, and I think that he is going to get the victory this weekend at Dover National Speedway. Josh Berry is a driver I think gets it done this weekend at Dover. So now we're going ahead and jump onto the drivers you need to watch out for this weekend at Dover. Who are the drivers you should watch out for? The first driver you should keep your eyes out on is a driver who scored 2 victories so far in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this season, that being at Auto Club and also a couple weekends ago at Martinsville, and that is John Hunter Nemechek. John Nemechek had a really strong car also in this race last year as well. Unfortunately, I think he had some electrical gremlins and some engine troubles near the end of the race that took him out of contention last year. But I think John Hunter Nemechek is going to be an easy threat for the victory. He might get his 3rd victory here and his 2nd win in the last 3 weeks. I think John Hunter Nemechek and Joe Gibbs Racing are going to be really, really quick this weekend at Dover Raceway. The second driver you should watch out for this weekend at Dover Raceway is a driver I've generally not picked as one you need to watch out for this weekend. But this guy has won in the ARCA East Series in the past and has been a contender, I believe, in the Truck Series when he's driven here as well. My second one to watch is Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer, I think, has had a pretty decent year. I thought he'd run a little bit better than he did because this is his 3rd season, technically his 2nd full-time season, but his 3rd year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And I do believe that we're going to see Sam Mayer be a really big contender for the win. Junior Motorsports looking for that first win. I think Sam Mayer's got a good chance to potentially get that first win for Junior Motorsports this season, this weekend at Dover. The third driver you should watch out for this weekend at Dover National Speedway is a driver of the 7 car for Junior Motorsports, Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier has been historically really, really great at this track. He's won here a couple times and is generally a really good driver on the concrete type of tracks. Like I said, Junior Motorsports also was really strong in the last 2 races here, and I think Justin Allgaier will easily be a pretty big threat and a pretty big contender to get a chance at the victory this weekend. I think he will absolutely be a threat and a contender for the victory this weekend at Dover Raceway. And the fourth and final driver you should watch out for this weekend at Dover is a driver of the 18 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Sammy Smith. Sammy Smith has been one of the fastest drivers so far this year in the 2023 season. Is always up front contending for wins. He came close to winning at Martinsville, another shorter type of track, and he also has 1 win so far at Phoenix, which is another mile track. He was almost a driver I was actually going to pick the win, but I think that Sammy Smith will be up there contending for a top 5 this weekend, and I think that you're going to see Joe Gibbs Racing, like with John Nemechek, I think they're going to give him a really fast car, and I think he'll be a pretty good opportunity, and we'll have a great shot to get a victory this weekend at Dover Raceway. So, those are my race picks for this weekend at Dover. Just a reminder, my suck picks are 7 Parsons, Chad Chastain. My underdog picks are Kyle Weatherman, Parker Kligerman. My winner's pick is Josh Berry. And the ones to watch are John Hunter Nemechek, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, and Sammy Smith. Those are my race picks. So, that is going to be it for the race picks video for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Dover. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on so you know if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me at Patreon as well. Links description below with that, and comment your thoughts below and your picks below for this weekend at Dover. Let me know your 2 suck picks, let me know your 2 underdog picks, and let me know who you think is going to win this weekend at Dover. And let me know the drivers you're watching out for this weekend at Dover National Speedway. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we have the NASCAR Cup Series race picks for Dover International Speedway. We might have a second video on the channel if there's any major news that breaks. Then on Wednesday, will be a NASCAR news video on the channel, recapping the news over the last couple of days. Then on Thursday, I have a special video coming out. It could potentially be schedule predictions or silly season update. I'm not entirely sure yet. Then Friday, there should be a NASCAR news video, and hopefully the weather can get a little better for this weekend so we can be racing this weekend at Dover. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.